I remember when I started off. I started off on a liver factory, eh? Yeah, and that was a pretty dirty job. And we got $5 a month, that's what we was getting. Yeah. I was 11 years old.
11?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, 2 summers after that, first summer I went out for a quarter of a share. That year I made $90. There's a lot of fish, but I made $90 out of it.
That was a lot of money for you, though.
Yeah, that was nice bit of money that time. So I made up 100. He gave me $10 bonus. Well, I was a good fisherman, eh? Yes. Well, we worked about from May up to probably October month. Time you got it made and that. I fished in, had to be kitchen open with a tail like that. And holding out, he stood it straight, he was made. Listen to that, he would. Yeah.
What time in the morning would you get started?
Oh, well, that was all a card, and the fish was into probably at past 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. You'll be at it in probably to 12 if it was good fishing, eh? Oh, yeah. And a lot of people, you see, right around the clock, 24 hours around the clock. If to get the fish ate, was put it away before it gets off. Yeah. Now, I ever had none of that. There was only a couple of times that ever I stayed in the stage all night. But people down along with the hellets down there, he spent a good bit of time in the stage when the fish was there.
But I lived in the stage basically from the time I was 2, because Pop was always at it, so I had to be down there too. And I was too small to go out and boat and help pull traps, but we used to be tormenting down here, taking the fish or helping the salt or do whatever. We'd even be rolling cigarettes for the old fellows. Joe Penn and them fellows, they fellows couldn't take time for smoke. So you had to roll it and you'd be blubber from one end to the other, guts and that sort, so you couldn't roll up a cigarette. But we fellows used to learn how to roll cigarettes and give them to them, put in their mouth and light, and then they smoke away on that without taking it in their mouth or without stopping. The only time you stopped was to go and use the bathroom at Old Wharf. But Pop would knit traps through the winter.
We knitted a ran at point night. And that's good knitting, you know. That was 3 or 4 knitting.
Yeah.
And I was full needles. And that's what I could do. Kept the needles full.
How many leaves would win a trap then? Do you know that?
Oh, God, I know by. About, I suppose about 6. About 8 leaves, I just say.
6 to 8 leaves.
Yeah.
Because you're down the V's be different size.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
The back be smaller mesh than the leaves.
Yeah.
So, but you put it all together, you know, and that's a hurt in itself, sort of thing, in knowing how to put a trap together the right way, because all the meshes is not the same size, right? You have small mesh in the back, bigger mesh for the V's, and for the sides you have another size mesh, you know. But when you lost the fishery, though, in the 70s, I remember first when the fisheries went, but that was when the Portuguese was off here at Raleigh. I remember back then when you look out the harbour, it was nothing but trawlers and was lights out the boat, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when we lost the fishery the first time.
Yeah.
Right, first time. And then they brought in this 200-mile limit. I got on the fishermen's committee way back then. That was in 75, I suppose, or 76. I was only a kid then, 17, 18 years old. Well, I must have been 17, I suppose. Somewhere around that time anyway, and that's when I got involved with the union even at that time, and we got trying to get the 200-mile limit for the trawlers, and was successful in doing so at that time. So going over that time, you know, there was a period where we lost all the fish completely into the bite and that. And then after that, certainly the longliners came. And the government started passing out the longliners to any fisherman that wanted them. And it was easy access to the money to get the boats. And then it went from the longliners to the draggers. And the inshore fishery was sort of gone in Raleigh as we see it, sort of thing, you know. But for them couple of years that we never had the longliners going full stream or the draggers in the bite, was the years that we really saw fish.
Yeah.
87, we had the big year, wasn't it? Yeah, a fish. We was loaded all the weeks and weeks to Caitlin be just rolling.
Yeah, rolling. There was no way in the world for to make them scarce, eh?
No.
Yeah, of course.
Geez, even back then in 87, Christ, we never ever thought we had steam out. Be nothing but black, Caitlin, from the time you leave the wharf till you get it to the trap.
And if you went to Snantly, from here to Snantly, it'd be the same thing. In boat. Nothing only Cape and look overboard and the Cape would be rushing down the whole ways. Thousands of millions of barrels. Well, the Cape is going to be scarce someday or another. No one wouldn't believe it. No.
What happened,
No,
see,
no
the
way.
Japanese came in and offered a price for the roll and the spawn, and that was it. The way that it works here, I mean, the government brings it in, trying to get a fishery of some sort, and it's big bucks, big corporations. That's who got all the money. Fishermen just made a
No,
day's
he
pay
didn't.
out of it, is all.
He did.
And if the spawny capelin is like taking spawny salmon. You know, next year can't be as many after next year. Same as lump roll. You can't go out and take all the females in a community of any species and get rid of them and expect for more there. But that's what happened. And that's what happened to our capelin. Hey?
Yeah.
And that's what happened to our cod. You know, you take when the road came through, it brightened up the world as we've seen it. And where St. Anthony was a day's away, day and a half for sure, right?
Yeah.
For us to go to St. Anthony, it'd be a full day, go over there and
Yeah.
get back. Now you can flick over there in 20 minutes. We got access to any part of the world in a flick of the finger. But at that time when the road come through, we thought it was going to be good things. But as a community, you could see it. The community life as we knew it was dropping at that time, right? And now it's got in our community where you got older people that don't know the young people. You got the young people that don't respect the older people. You got that big square box, the TV, that the kids are playing with all the time, and the old people just got contented with looking at it. Instead of Dad, like I remember Pop there, and Uncle Cale and Carl Elliott and Kel Bovies, Puppy, always a crowd at the house playing checkers or listening to the hockey game on radio. Remember, Pop, when you used to be at that all the time, everyone would be around the radio just listening to that, and be big checker game champion. Well, Pop, he was the best checker player, was in there. Okay, it was pretty good, but you used to have people come in even from Shipcove. That'd be the game, right? And when they wouldn't at that, be the big soccer match on the harbour one was froze up. Always, every evening, even though we'd be working hard in the woods and that,
Yeah.
as a kid, that was our playground out there, but they used to always play with us. Anyone that could run, didn't matter how old or how young, we always played together. Like the soccer was
No,
our
I'd say hard you worked in the woods.
No,
You was always good to go to the
play
football.
ball. It was a different thing. We always did that,
whatever
right?
it was.
Now,
I wouldn't like for it to be today. I
no,
knows I wouldn't do much kicking.
no, no, but
Yeah.
the thing is the communications. Now, you know, you get some people saying these fellows are bad, those are other fellows. The thing is no communications no more. No one knows their own people anymore. Because you got older people that just went away and stayed in their houses. There's no fishery. You can't go down the stage like today, you know, you walk down on the stage in the spring of the year, it'd be nothing but the hustle and bustle of work. Everyone was so busy working. Be nailing this or fixing a stage, or you get big crowds going pushing out boats. Yeah.
But you wouldn't hardly see any money, eh? Some people might see a few dollars. Mostly if you had $30 or $40 coming to you, well, you would take it up in food or something. But,
Pop, would Aunt Lavinia take a shear or anything?
no.
No.
No, we had all full shares, but we
Well,
still
women
out
wouldn't take a shear.
No, women never took a share.
But they always be down stage.
Always on stage, yeah, at the fish.
Yes, boy.
Yeah, the women that day used to work. You wouldn't see near a chip around the door of a woman like that. They picked up and burned, eh? Pretty big. They'd be in the garden, down on the flake, washing clothes. The whole lot going through, and the women that do it. I don't know how they used to do it, but they used to do it. And by the God, now they didn't spend many hours sat down smoking, I tell you. No, none at all. I never seen a woman smoke. First woman I seen smoke up in the Alvey Bay, and Mary Ann Sims. She smoked a pipe.
Yeah.
Me and her, that fellow was up there last night, was going on with his old fleeces. We come out of the woods, we was in Camp 5, yeah.
In Lumberwoods.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When we was in the cabin, and we passed along by the window, and first we seen this woman stood up, going right to the knitting, eh? And with a pipe in her mouth. That seemed awful strange to us, because we never seen a woman before smoking. 18 schooners went ashore here at one time. I heard my father and he talking about it, eh? Schooners.
Yeah.
30 or 40 schooners.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You was all in
all
Labrador?
the time, eh?
Always in Labrador?
No.
Oh,
Just
fishing
stay
out
here.
there?
Yeah, fish here. If she holds on the way she's going now, about 10 years from now, when there'll be only old age pensioners here. That's all will be here in Raleigh. Yeah, no way for her to survive like she's going today. Unless something comes up, for the... Because all people is leaving. Hardly gets growed up, got a bit of land, now they're gone. No youngsters, no children at all, no babies. You go around this harbour now, I don't know if there's a baby in the harbour, no. So she can't survive, and scatter one dying all the time. So she got to go out.
I'm getting more into the community now than I was the past few years, but I always was helping the community in every which way, from a chairman on a fisherman's committee when I was a kid to helping out with the unions and helping out with councils and everything of that nature. And now we got together and start a cooperation. The only way that I could see helping out this community was try and get everyone in the community to know each other again. That's one of my big goals.
If anything started up, people be only proud to get back home.
Yeah.
That's one thing for sure.
But the thing is where we got no fishery left.
No.
Everyone that's accepted basically in this harbour, whatever sold out to government wishes that they did, because there's no living in the fishery. They can't make it in the small boats. And as you look around, there's no small boats here. We've got a long liner left here that Edmund Taylor owns, that he's trying to get some sort of industry going for his two sons to come back, because his two sons has gone away now, and they were fishermen here. So as a fishery, there'll never be a fishery back here that's going to attract enough people to keep this community going. But if you look at it from the other perspective, and I guess when one door is closed and another one is opening, and you get a little bit more positive of what we have. We do have a lot here. We got a lot of things here if we get the people behind it. And we got roughly 35,000 tourists that go along by our door every day. They go and visit a centre just down the road, 22 or 25 kilometres, which is the Viking site, So look at it in that perspective and say, if we can tap into that, and if we can create our own work here in this community, which we can do through the tourism. It's going to be seasonal, but we're used to seasonal work. Our fishery was only seasonal, although there was lots of work. But I think if we might have focused now on bringing in peoples and getting everyone in the community brought up about it, I think we can have a future here, and we can save some people, because for every permanent job that we create, there's going to be spin-off jobs. Our business is going to survive. Our older people got a reason to get up in the mornings, and our young people got a reason to look forward to, and something to look forward to if there's a job that can be created. Now, we got to accept, and I have accepted, that this community is dying big time, as well as the whole Northern Peninsula, and as well as Newfoundland, except for the cities of Corner Brook and basically St. John's. Those people, my young fellows living in there now, my girls living down in Stephenville, so we know there's nothing here for them. And I always taught Zane that when he was a little kid. You got to get your education. You got to go and not even look at what he got here, because Zane don't know anyone in this community hardly. When he was 17 years old, he went to university and ain't been home since. He's working in BC in the summertime, getting enough money to go back to school in the winter. And I had no other choice but force him to go away from the time he was a little kid, knowing that being around here wasn't any good. But in the last couple or 3 years, I honestly think that we can make a living for a lot of our young people. I honestly do. I think we can get out there, and if we had certain things put in place, we need some infrastructure put in place. We need to keep this. This stage here has got to be, this is where we came from, and this is Dad's life. This is what he did all of his life. And you take for the whole fisherman that's looking out their window, and all the stages, like Dad said, this was filled, flakes, everything. The life that Zane never ever saw. We're trying to recreate it somehow now. A lot of work got to go into it, a lot of manpower, but I'm saying we're not afraid of work. Work is what's going to get you there. There's no millionaires going to be here. But there was no millionaires that came out of here yet. He just worked, had a family, and that's what it was all about. And having a good life and a happy life. But for us fellows now, like I said, never depend on